People will cause me to do a special edition because it's special. If it's special, it has to be special, right?
Yes,
I can't do it for everybody. In order for it to be a special edition, then whoever is going to be here has to be special. And I got a young man. Listen, man, and we have live in the building author, but it's a different kind of author. He writes books, but in a different kind of way. You know what I mean? We're going to talk to him right now. This is the second time we have him in the building. He hasn't been here in a while, so we're going to find out what he's been up to. We got none other than author Deniro Richards live in the building. Where is fam? What's going on? How you doing?
Well, man. Blessings in the Father. I do well, man.
That was, how long ago was the last time you was here? How long ago was that?
3 years now, 2023.
2023, and that's when you had the first book.
Yeah.
That's when you did the first book.
Yeah, my very first release, As We See.
As We See. And how was that? How was the reception on that book, that being the first one? First of all, did you write that book with expectations, putting it out to the people? And did it meet those expectations?
Honestly, yes and no.
Okay.
Me that be a liar if I tell you I never have some expectations.
Okay.
But the priority was really to get it done.
Okay.
Because it was a dream and aspiration of mine to actually create something physical.
Okay.
Yeah, me used to put books on Wattpad, which is like a digital platform where you can go read and stuff. But I always wanted something tangible. And my biggest expectation in terms of people was more some they actually want people to like the product. And they actually want people to read the poems them and really enjoy them. And I can safely say, yes, I felt like the reception was, it met the expectation. And that's why I kept on going, you know?
And was there setbacks being your first publication? Was it what you thought it would be? Like, you know what I mean? You have aspirations of writing a book and putting it out there to the people. What were some of the challenges you faced with that first book? One of the challenges where I faced personally is I considered my immediate audience being like friends, family members, people who I know say they will check out my work. Yeah. So I wanted to curate it in a way where in a too poetic way it lose the people who actually read. Right. Again, I try to say sometimes we can be too wordy and too introspective. Right. Where we don't really bring in the audience. So that was the challenge for me to really write it in a format in a way where the audience could really read it and receive it, not just for read it to them and support Deniro, but actually get a takeaway from the work, you know? Not buy it and put it down, but buy it and read it. Yeah. And get something from it. Yeah. Okay. And did you felt like the response, you got that? You got that? Yeah, man. Definitely got that. I felt like people really loved it. A lot of people were even surprised. A lot of people was like, yo, I never know say to them thing, bro. You're bad, man. And, you know, so the response was, it meet expectations to an extent. Cause, you know, we're never really satisfied as creatives, you know? Of course. Yeah, so it definitely meet expectations, and it was motivating to see how people reacted to the product. And so from 3 years ago, we moved from the first book to now we're on the fifth. Yeah. We're on the fifth book right now. Yeah. Which you explained to me when you came in. A question I wanna ask you is, so moving from this first to the second book, and the second book is titled? The second book is titled The Scriptures of Del. Whereas Del, that's the first three letters of my middle name. So I use that as my creative moniker. And The Scriptures of Del was more so works that I had curated from the time I started writing until the release of that book. And I did it in a format where you saw the old works when I was a teenager, very young, and then the newer works, you know, as a more mature, experienced individual. So it's like with the second book, you went back sort of to like the beginning. Correct. And then kind of worked your way up to where you were present in that moment. Correct. Yeah, and how was the reception on that one? And what's some of the things that you learned, some of the lessons you learned from the first book moving into the second? What were some of the lessons you learned that you brought into, you know, a little bit more experience? What were some of the things you brought into the second book that you wrote? So the second book, the biggest lesson I took away from the first book was really that sometimes we really have to just do it in a doing.
Trying to perfect something might actually end up spoiling it. You get me? So the first book, I really wanted to perfect it. And then the reception from that kind of helped me to kind of let my guard down in a way to say, you know what? Let me just do this.
Right.
Let me just do it to the best of my ability. Let me not try to stress myself out about it. And then do that. So it taught me that some of the things that I would hyperfixate on,
right.
people don't really
care about that.
Yeah, and people actually enjoy stuff. Some of the poems in me that I say, boy, I know I wish me did do this different. They must say, Deniro, I'm a favorite poem that I do. What you talk say? So that kind of encouraged me, say, you know what? Just do it to the best of your ability. Because at the end of the day, it's not just for me. It is for an audience as well. So sometimes you are trying do it perfect for yourself.
Get it to a perfection. When the people just want the material.
Yeah.
Sometimes it comes out better in its rawest form.
Yeah.
And not trying to perfect it. Because sometimes trying to perfect it, I realize a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times when you go with your first thought, it connects more with people than trying to, when you start thinking about it and, well, I might like it, but this person might want me to tweak this or change that or do whatever. It takes away from that moment when that thought came to you.
Yeah.
And you put it to paper. It kind of takes away from that. But so the second book, how long after the first one? Because I remember when you were here, you had already had like 2 books like in your head where you were going with the story. So how long after the first publication did you put out the second one?
I put out the second one the following year, you know, and funny enough, doing so the 2 books them may reasonable. That would be the follow-up books.
Yes,
I'll know them then I drop, you know.
I'll know those books.
I'll know them then I drop because what ended up happening was once I start writing,
yes,
it's like I can't really stop, and then some of the things they don't really go along with what you have planned. Yes, he said that the creative process start for carve it own a lane.
Right.
You know, and it's like you can't swim upstream. You go struggle.
Right.
So
you can, but it's harder.
It's harder.
It's harder for yeah. You can, so, but it's hard. It's way harder than swim upstream. You know? That's right.
So I'm saying, no, let me follow where the creativity is taking me because at the end of the day, it is coming from me, but it's still bigger than me.
Right.
So let me say, no, let me follow where the creativity is taking me. So those 2 books, I felt like because they were so planned, I have to really sit down with them. Whereas these 2, it was more so just creative energy. I'm gonna say, no, let it be.
And where do you think this energy comes from? Like this creative energy, like where do you pull that creative energy from? Where does it flow from?
You know, I say personally, means like emotional kind of youth, you know.
Okay.
But not emotional in the sense of bally, but more so like me can empathize with people.
Right.
I'm a very self-aware. Okay. If I hurt you, I'm gonna even feel like that. Even if I say it to me doing, I reach out to you and apologize. You get me? I try to say,
right.
Me a them kind of person there. So because of how my mentality stay, I don't have no problem for put out certain things in our writing.
Right.
You get me? I try to say, so that is where it really come from. Just because I can be open with myself and my thoughts, you know, say,
right.
That was a wrong move, that was a right move, or I'm feel a certain way, I'm feel that type of way. And then when we mix that with just a natural love for poetry, is like you put flames to fire, or you put fuel to fire. So it just kind of burn up from there. So that is where the creative energy really come from. Just me as a person and a natural love for poetry.
And I think when we talk about these books, I need people to understand, like, it's not a typical book.
No.
It's poetry.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a book of poetry, but the twist to it is it's not just random poems just being thrown on paper.
No.
There's a storyline with each poem. It's just like reading a book with chapters, right? And every chapter is connected to the other chapter, but with this, it's poetry. Like, it's hard for me to explain, and I don't want to explain it. No, I don't want to explain it because I want people to read the books and get an understanding for themselves to kind of understand. And all these books are available. They're on Amazon and
all of the books are on Amazon currently. I am still in the process of getting my own website, but right now Amazon is the biggest marketplace in the world. So again, you don't want to try to swim upstream.
Right. Of course.
So right now, yes, I'm working with Amazon. They can just search my name and all my titles will come up.
So make sure you guys go out, pick up the books. So we're on to the second, and then the third book the third book that you put out, how long after the second one did you put that book out?
So the third book came out the same time as the second.
So both books came out at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was at work, promoting my book, telling my coworkers about it. At the time, I was still working at the school.
Right.
So my coworkers, I said, bro, like, we're there from 7 to whenever. When you get time, if you write all of them book here.
Okay.
And it was like, them I say, bro, we not believe you. So we were at work and I said, all right, here what we're going to do. Everybody are going to give me a title or give me an idea. I'm going to write a poem right here, so right now. And the goal was to write 20, but we got to 18. And this was like 4 or 5 days before the release of the second book.
Wow.
So I have to knock out the poem, them, read them back to my coworker for them actually say, yo, yeah, them like this.
Them like, yeah.
And then farmer to chop up a book cover real quick and then upload it on Amazon and do me have to forget it for release in time with the second book. So that third book is called Because You Asked. Because
Makes
them
sense.
ask me when we get time to do this.
Right.
So I do it and make them see it.
So you see the correlation between music and poetry, how they go hand in hand. So what they're doing right there is the same thing as a freestyler artist come in the studio, which I've only had one artist that come in here and did that. Yeah. And it's oh my God, Black Hero. Black Hero is the only artist since I've been on this platform.
Yeah.
Is the only artist that has come up here and said, "Listen, I'm gonna freestyle. Just give me words.
Yeah.
Any word. Just throw words at me." And he just kept on going. No breaking, no nothing. I was just trying to find just anywhere around the room I could find a word. It's still up on it's up on YouTube. I think it's up on YouTube or it's up on the website. We should look for that and repost it. Because I just hit him up the other day. And he just kept on going.
It's not that easy something,
No, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Because because you could do it and it's not authentic where you just rhyming in it. I could tell you time and you say lime, bime, dime. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's coherent.
But it's to make it make sense as you're doing it. Right? So those 18 poems that were written, right? These were over a 5-day period they were giving you these words, or did they just say, okay, this is the word I'm giving you, or this is the topic, not word, but this is the topic I'm giving you? And how long would it take you to do a complete poem?
The poem that I wave on them poem in at the moment.
So you're doing it
right there on the spot.
There in front of them.
Yeah.
You're putting this together.
Yeah. So the curation.
But wait a minute. Was this record? Did you ever record any of this?
No.
Oh, come on.
But the thing about it is
this makes for amazing content.
Yeah. I never considered that at the time, to tell you the truth, because it was just like a
spur of the moment.
Spur of the moment, and I was enjoying the process so much so I not think about documenting it, none of that. I just think about I go show this and we can do this and get it done.
That would have been amazing content for people to see that, you know what I mean, in real time.
Yeah, man.
And then to actually now think about that. Imagine a video coming out with you actually writing these poems, and then the book drops right after that with the same 18 poems. That's amazing content.
Boy, I do him. We should be there at the school when I do it.
Somebody should have grabbed out their, especially in the era we living in. Somebody should have grabbed out their phone and been like, you know what? Da.
Yeah.
Did you credit them each person or not really?
Not really, but in the introduction of the book, I stated that these poems are inspired by my coworkers. So I didn't name everybody individually or indicate what poem.
But everybody know. But the people that contributed the word, they know what poem they're.
Yeah, man.
They know what.
Yeah. It was like 5-6 of we in the office, and we just knock it out and I get it done. So everybody knew who was a part of the process. Did
they ever make any of, and this is probably a crazy question to ask, maybe I should have asked you off here, but I don't think it's that crazy. Did they ever make any of your books a part of the school, seeing that you were in a school? Your poems weren't, you know what I mean? Did they make it any?
No, not at the time of being there, and not currently. I did get the books. So they did promote more so, or told the kids about, so I like me I tell, we do a poetry reading for a 4th grade class. Okay. And also for Black History Month, they had shared my book covers with the kids as just an aspiration. Like, look, we have Mr. Richards here, who is a Black author. Okay. So while the books themselves were not made a part of the school in any official capacity.
They were still
within my location. They
Right.
promoted it and let the kids know this is something to aspire to.
I was gonna say maybe there had to be like a protocol, but then it's a private. It's a kind of a charter school, so you don't go through the same protocol as it has to be approved by the state, and you know what I mean.
Probably not the state, but the network office.
The network office have to.
Yeah.
Okay. So we up to the third book, and what year was the third book? That was what year?
That was also 2024.
2024.
Yeah.
So that's the third book that was published, and what was the reception like on that particular book?
So honestly, the third book, it was like a book will fall through the cracks because people were anticipating the second book.
Okay.
The third book wasn't even a concept a week before, right? So there was no promotion.
So there was no promotion.
Yeah,
Okay, I got you.
So people did look forward to the second book, and that did well.
Right.
Especially people from Jamaica who knew of me writing prior, where they must say, oh, we want to see them thing again, because I was always somebody who would share my stuff with my community. But the third book, it was just like, wait, you drop a third book? I mean, I say, yeah, I'm drop a third book too. So, for a lot of people, it kind of catch them by surprise.
But the reception was still, but I mean, listen, the one thing about it is whenever you hit that trajectory of going up, when you get to a certain level, when people finally start hearing about you, people will go back and research that work.
Yeah.
And books, poems are timeless.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no timestamp on it to say, you know what, this is for this time and it's not going to be relevant 2 years from now, 3 years from now.
Yeah.
So even 10 years from now, somebody gets, you know what I mean? You just need the right person to find the right song, to find the right poem and come and talk about it on a platform, and then you'll find that book probably just take off from there.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So we're on to the fourth book now, which I'm pretty sure that was 2025.
Yeah.
Was the fourth book.
Fourth book.
And that was the title of that book.
So that one was titled Through the Motions. And that book was more so, as the title suggests, Through the Motions, is just capturing the different motions of life that we go through as human beings. Because I'm pretty sure that we all go through different things.
Right.
Whether that be ups or downs. We all go through some form of highs, some form of lows. So the Through the Motions book now was just me capturing it poetically through the motions of life. You get what I'm trying to say?
Is it particularly your life, or is it the life of just people in general? Or it's a mixture of your life, people's life, people that's close to your life, probably something that you overheard? What are the different, where you were drawing the aspiration from?
No, man, that was definitely through my life personally. Just over a variety of time. So it wasn't necessarily to that year or specific to that year, but it was just specific to experiences that I've lived, that I believe these particular experiences or this way of expressing these experiences are not singular to me. You get me? I'm trying to say these are general experiences.
Other people go. In other words, the things that you will probably have been through, there's other people out there that's probably going through that. You probably went through it 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. But there's people that's actually living that right now in this moment. So this is something for them to connect to and feel. Did you get any of those inspirational messages? Like, did anybody reach out to you? Like, you know what, I read this poem and it's so connected with me. Like, I feel connected with this particular one.
Yeah, man. One of my brothers them call me, man, JAIRIE. And the G called me and the man I said, Deniro, I don't know where I put in that one there, bro, but I really like that one there, bro. That one there, universal. And one lady also reached out to me. And she said, yo, I like where you're writing. I think it was the title piece, because the title piece named Through the Motions.
Right.
I'm opening him say, through the motions I go, never letting my emotions show. You get me? I try to say. And the lady reached out to me because she said she really resonate with that, because being like a mom, sometimes I go through things and you can't even make it show up on your face.
I mean, as parents, that definitely would resonate, because the last thing you want is, if you're struggling or going through anything, is for your kids to pick up on that. So a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? We emotional, but we emotional when we by ourselves.
Yeah.
When we know the car driver come from work, I leave work, and when you actually reflect, you might shed 2 tears, but say as soon as you reach home, you have to take off the face there completely. You know what I mean? And just you understand what I say? You have to get rid of that little emotional part because you don't want your kids to see it. You know what I mean? So you portray it. So that's definitely a thing. Listen, man, 718-785-5760, 718-785-5760. Live in the studio today, man, we have Deniro Richards. The new book, it's out today. The Quiet Between Us. You understand? Deniro Richards Publishing. Make sure you guys pick up the brand new book. It's out today. He also, and if you haven't gotten the opportunity to get the other books that's out, please make sure you get them there on Amazon. Pick them up. And do remember, June 13th, he's doing something big in Brookville Park at 4 p.m. Food is on the house. Drinks is on the house for as long as it lasts. Him probably can't feed the whole of Queens, but he might try feed who him can feed. You understand? And he's going to have the books on sale. All the books are going to be there on sale, not just this particular book.
Correct. All the books.
So it's the least you can do. I definitely would be there. If there was a way for us to broadcast live from there, definitely would. But that's in the park, Tony. We probably won't have any power, right, Tony? Nah, no power. We won't have any power, any Wi-Fi. That's probably two of the things that we need. But listen, but we'll still go there, show support. You understand? Still go and pick up the books. It's going to be on June 13th, so you still have some time. You know, get your kids. You know what I mean? It's somebody from the community. I definitely don't do this for every and anybody, man. Only special occasions and special people will cause me to do a special edition because it's special. If it's special, it has to be special, right? Yes, I can't do it for everybody. In order for it to be a special edition, then whoever is going to be here has to be special. And I got a young man. Listen, man, before I said this story from the last time. Before I even met this young man, before I even knew he was a writer, before I knew anything about him, when I used to drop my daughter off in the mornings, man, this man would have so much energy in the morning. I used to be pissed off like, yo, why this man is singing if it's raining, if it's cold, whatever it is outside. Tony, you know, you used to see him, Tony? Man, every single morning, this man just have energy. I'm like, what the hell? What kind of energy this man have so early in the morning? I'm dropping my daughter off. I'm like, listen, just hurry up and come out the car so I can go back and go get a little bit more sleep. But this man is up early in the morning. And then I think I saw you in a supermarket.
Yeah.
I saw you in a supermarket, and that's where we connected and we started talking. And I don't even know how we got into it, and you let me know like you're a writer. And I said, hey, man, listen, come on up. Because I like seeing things like this. That's why I made sure that the first time you came up here, I had my daughter with me to let her know, like, listen, all the people you look up to, yes, you look up to your parents, but of course you have influences in entertainment. You know, not everybody you look up to got to be people you can't see and touch. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is somebody that you know, you've seen him on countless occasions, and look what he's accomplishing.
Yeah.
Look what he's doing. And it's very important for, you know, kids in the community, people in the community. That's why I want people to support you in what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're somebody that they see, somebody that they can touch. And you publish 5 books. That's not an easy feat. You got people that's still struggling with their first one. And you're on your 5th book. If one person buys it, if 2 people buy it, if 3, it doesn't even matter about that. It does matter in a sense, but the essence of what I'm trying to say is the fact that you had a thought, you took that thought and put it to paper, and you put it out in the world for people to judge and people to see. And I think that's an amazing accomplishment. 5 books is not an easy feat. You have writers that... big accomplished writers that have multi-million-dollar deals to write books and they're still on their first one. Ain't even turned in the first one and you're on your 5th. So I just need people to support. Listen, if I ain't buy any of the books, I know I have the first one. I'm not gonna sit up here and say, oh, I have the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th, and I'm not one of them people that's gonna lie. But guess what? Before he leaves today, I'm buying all 4 books, because I have one already. I'm going to buy all 4 books. And if you don't believe me, you can follow me on IG. I'm going to buy all 4 books and I'm going to post them right on my IG. You understand what I'm saying? Because I don't want to talk about support and I'm not supporting. Then I'd be a hypocrite. Right? So I'm going to buy. You want me to buy 2 extra and give them out? All right. So that's 6 books that we're going to purchase here on JAR Radio. And we're going to give away 2 of the books. Hit us in the DM, or if you call up and we're able to send it to you, because they're in paperback, right? They're not digital.
Yeah, paperback.
So we'll be able to send them to you wherever you are. 718-785-5760 is the number to call inside the studio. If you want to call on WhatsApp, it's 347-688-3106. So now we're up to the 5th book, The Quiet Between Us. First of all, explain the title of the book to me.
So, The Quiet Between Us, this follows, and that one here, unlike some of the other books where it's a little specific to me, this one is not specific to me. This one is just a tale as old as time itself.
Okay.
Yeah, woman ever vex it and you also quiet?
All the time.
Okay.
That's any relationship. Anybody that's been in a relationship know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
So that is the whole essence of the book, where it's just this heavy quiet between a couple, and the quiet become the issue because they must say, oh no, this is very unlike us. No matter what happen, ups, downs, high, low, you vex, me vex, it's never been quiet. So the quiet between us just details that sometimes where the struggle becomes the quiet between 2 people, whereas that is what makes them uncomfortable. It's no longer why we're disagreeing in the first place. It's no longer what even got us here. It's no, this quiet just feels unnatural.
Right.
Yeah, and that is the problem now. Forget somebody vex so they can never bring out the garbage.
The quiet causes you to think.
Yeah.
So when there's that quietness and no communication, a lot of thoughts get put into just being quiet.
Yeah.
And it could, but go ahead. But I understand. I'm just saying I completely understand what you're saying. Experience.
So, yeah, man, that is essentially it. But it is a story of triumph nonetheless, So they eventually get over the quiet. You get
of course, yes.
But in the moment of the quiet,
right,
they're both going through, like I said, a bunch of thoughts. They're processing a lot of different things. Like, yo, she's wondering how he's so fine with the quiet. And he might wonder, oh, she's so okay with the quiet. But the 2 of them quiet. Nobody now realize, say, boy, me can try initiate or vice versa. So that is the initial phases. And like the first book, this is similar. Where the first book you saw that there was a male and a female voice. Still,
right.
It is similar in that sense, but the only difference with this one is the male voice happens in a chapter of its own. Then you have the female voice in a chapter of her own. And the male voice has 3 poems, then she also has 3 poems, and then them come together and have a conversation. And that has 3 poems. And then you have a 4th chapter where it's the steps that they take next, what them do next. And that is 4 poems. And then, as always, I usually have a bonus content section in my storybooks, where that is more free ball, where it's not so much the poems are actually telling a story, but more so these are just poems.
Just poems that... In reading this particular book, like what are some of the emotions you think people will come away with? Like, what are some of the emotions you want to like jab at, like for people to get? Like when you wrote this, what are some of the things that you wanted people to take away from it?
So some of the emotions that I believe people will experience that I was attempting to convey is pride, because as a man, them say pride of our thing, right? So I wrote it in a way where the emotional nuances were very different.
Okay.
And that was the challenge, for make sure I say, when reading it, the female sounds like a female. And when reading it, the man sounds like a man.
Sound like a man, right?
You get
right. Yeah.
I didn't want it to sound convoluted as if it's just general. So you will find that the man, he might focus on some different things. And his thing is driven by pride, sense of want, and just being a man. Ego. You get me? Whereas...
Where they say men are driven by, okay.
And then with the woman, it was a little bit more nuanced, where it's hypercalculation, emotion, and control. Because as much as all this quiet is here, she know what just make fear relationship go down the drain.
Right.
She do a lot for this young man here, so nah, go just go so. So that was the nuances that you will find when I read the male chapter and the female chapter, and then you will see the love blossom in the last two chapters as them eventually come together and have a conversation, and then them take steps to move forward.
I think a book like this will definitely. This is something I feel like a lot of people will resonate with when it comes on to, because especially in relationships, because I feel like The Quiet Between Us, mainly deals with relationships, right? And I feel like there is no right or wrong way, because everybody have their own way of dealing with, arguments in relationships, or even the quiet in relationships.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people, you'll have females that prefer, even if you guys aren't talking, she preferred the arguing because at least there's conversation, even though it's not the conversation that's healthy, but there is something is happening, right? You have the man that's the same way. So when you have a situation now where everybody is completely quiet and the thoughts start, you know what I mean? I'm going to read this book and then I'm going to come back and talk about it and talk some more about this book, because I feel like this one is going to be good. I feel like, this is, so did it, with writing this, was this just from your perspective, a perspective piece, or did you go out and be like, so, like any research then, you know what I mean? Like, did you talk to anybody, or this was all just you and your personal experience, but from what's out there in the world, as far as, because we have this thing where it's always said that men are driven by ego, which we didn't just come up with that.
Yeah.
That's what is portrayed in the world and in media, and then they say women are more calculated in what they do and they're more,
emotional
emotional to an extent. So I wanted to find out if any of this was researched or it's just from that place.
So it's a case where I didn't conduct research while writing it, but my brethren, both male and female.
That's what I mean. So you did get
definitely get inspiration from outside sources on how people deal with things. You get me? I try to say how people feel about certain things. Even the same quiet. Me have friends where the quiet bother them. You get me? I try to say them would have rather the argument.
Right.
You get me? I try to say, me as a man, I can't understand that. I don't do argument and them thing there. You get me? I try to say, we can have disagreements, yes, because we are human.
Of course.
But the arguing, I can't really see. Me that prefer the quiet until we can come and have a regular conversation.
Have dialogue in a calm manner.
Yeah.
Right.
And this book, it have something where none of the other books don't have. What you will find in this book is there's a lot of scriptures being referenced, Bible verses.
Okay.
You see me?
Right.
Because even in the opening of the book, I must say, sometime when the quiet seeping, we need something much more deeper to anchor us. Again, I try to say, me is a man of faith.
Right.
Again, I try to say, sometimes that is the anchor we need. That is the common ground we need, where we know, so the Bible don't tell us how to deal with certain things and how we must approach certain situations. So I wrote it in a way where the scriptures aren't forced. Again, I try to say, if you know your Bible, you will pick up on them immediately. But if not, there's a
it's a reference point,
and there's a reference page at the very back.
It's a reference point, meaning it's not just a Bible verse just out of thin here.
No.
It's referencing and it's dealing with, and it's a guide.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and it's showing you like, look, regardless of whatever, this Bible verse tells you how to deal with this, and shows you that, you know what I mean, there is ways other than how you're doing it. Like this, you could go this way. Yeah.
And additionally, it shows you, boy, there's nothing new under the sun. Because when a Bible verse speaks to a person, at least I can talk for myself, sometimes it reassures me to know, say, this particular feeling is not brand new.
Nothing is new under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun.
Nothing is new under the sun.
Yeah.
Nothing is new. So I understand exactly what you're saying. If this is coming from the scriptures, that means even back in those times, somebody was going through the same thing that you're going through right this minute. Listen, man, the name of the book is The Quiet Between Us, right? And it's under your publishing. It's your self-published.
Correct.
Right? So it's Deniro Richards Publishing, right? Please, on Amazon. Where else it is available? Only on Amazon?
Currently it's just on Amazon, yes.
So currently it's just on Amazon. So I need you to go and pick up the book, right? And also if you pick up, how much is the book right now on Amazon?
So that book is $12.99.
Come on, man. $12.99. $12.99. Pick it up for somebody else. The name of the book is The Quiet Between Us. You know what I mean? You need to go and get the book. You know what? I'd love for you to give me 2 lines out of one of these poems, man. In all your writing, on the 5 books that you've published. In the meantime, I'll let you look for like one of the poems, just to give us like even an excerpt, just even a few lines out of any one of the poems for me. But in all the poems that you've written, is there any poem or anything that you've written and published? Because I know sometimes you might have one that's personal to you that you haven't put out yet because you're waiting for the right time. But in the books that you've published, is there any poem that stands out to you that gets you emotional or gives you that feeling? All of them are your babies, of course. But is there anyone that stands out to you more than the others?
So in the scriptures of Del, there is a poem titled "The Day My Grandma Lost Her Sight," and that was a poem that I wrote when I was around 19. Well, my grandmother lose her sight from I was young, but I never put it in words until 19.
Okay.
So that is something that always get me emotional because when I say my grandmother lose her sight when I was young, she never really get to see me growing up. As much as though she was there,
right.
She never actually. Her image of me, I still look a baby.
Look a baby, yeah.
You get me? I try to say so. Whenever I'm even think back on that poem, they are even because I never even want to put it in the book. To tell you the truth, what I love because, I say, boy, that one are rough. You get me? I try to say,
right.
But me I say, hey, put it out there. My grandmother, I'm pretty sure she would want me to share it. You get me? I try to say, she passed in 2018. So she never even get to see me. I do none of this for me. I don't know. I even hear. So it was.
She's seeing it and she's hearing it.
But she's not there physically.
But she's not physically in the physical form. Okay, I guess.
So that is one poem. And definitely, when I even meditate back upon it, it really hurt because it really shocking when we get the call. Some grandmother can't see and them thing. They get me. I try to say at school, me they are going certain things. So
right.
When I really reflect upon that poem, it.
So that's one of them. What state is probably hard to explain because I know sometimes for artists it's hard to explain, but what state are you in when you actually start writing? Like when that inspiration hits you? Does it come at a certain time? Is it in the morning? Is it in the night? Do you write better at a certain time? You know what I mean? Like what are some of the vices? Not when I say vices, I mean like it could be water, it could whatever. What is it you think, or what is it that, once you start, you need these things to continue to just pour out?
I can't really say because it's such a complicated thing. And the reason why I say that is I've been at spaces before and people talk and them just, because me and my love, if certain words just sound poetic to me,
right,
me go write a poem about it. If I just like how it sounds, because I have a poem in this book called The Things of This Time, right? And I want my brethren them on them WhatsApp status attack and them I say, some people just ahead of them time. I want to appreciate them when them there here with me. This person is talking about grief, but me take it as gratitude because me I say we should be present,
appreciating
we should
them.
Be appreciative of the things of this time. Again,
yes.
So it's a lot of different things, and then there will be poems where that inspiration comes, and then I start to work on a poem. So it's a number of different ways how we get inspired.
Is everything always completed the minute you start writing it? I know artists, like, they always walk around, and if you go into your phone, they'll have a bunch of like 2-liners or sometimes a verse. You know what I mean? That they get the inspiration and they record it, and then they might go back to it to finish it. Is that the same for you, or once you start on something, it just kind of flows right through to the end? And even in writing a poem, how do you know that this is where I need to end?
So it is not always something that get completed in the moment or even the same day. Some stuff, yes, because some stuff is just like you have the story laid out perfectly in your head, because it starts in your head, right?
Right.
Before you can even put it on paper or put it to pen.
I don't mean to cut you.
Yeah.
But see, the difference with what you're doing and everybody else is these are poems, right? Which I feel like is a little bit more complicated than a book. Because if I'm talking about, walking down the street, I could formulate a way to put it to say, you know what? It doesn't have to rhyme.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to, I can just write, I went outside and I saw da-da-da-da-da. Then I started walking down the street. In what you're doing, it takes a little bit more than just putting words on paper. So that's the part that I'm trying to get into. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is it that the whole story plays out in your head of what you're writing about, and it's just you having to then put it to paper to catch up with what you already have in your head? Or I'm trying to get an understanding. I know it's hard because I know it must be hard, but I'm just trying to get an understanding, or even the listeners to get an understanding of how do you, the process. Some artists like the beat first, some write the song, then go to the studio, and then the producer might build the beat around the song. So that's what I'm trying to find out.
So, like I say, it's a variety of things. Some stories, I know exactly, like some poems, I refer to them as stories because each poem contains so much, it is as if it's a story in of itself, right? So some of the poems, I know exactly what I play out. Some, it build line by line, because after you read something or you write the line and say, okay, I know the direction I can go with this. And then other stuff, you start it, Tony, and you forget about it until I work on something else.
Right.
And then you revisit it. Some stuff, honestly, me even have the last paragraph before I write anything else, because I want to say this. I just want to end up poem saying this.
That was going to be my next question, because for movies, I'm drawing. I don't know much about poems and the writing of poems, but I can talk about movies and music, right? Some movies, people know what the ending is.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is the ending. This I want for the ending.
Yeah.
So it's just for me to get everything else
and build around it.
And build around it to get to this point.
Yeah. Sometimes it happens like that for me as well, man. Where I just feel like this would be a good ending to a poem. I just like this sound as a cliffhanger. So now I have to go build a story where you have leading you onto this cliff.
Leading right up to that point.
And then just end it there. So
is it the same way also for the whole, is it the same way also for the entire for the book? Is it the same way for the whole book? Like, is it the same thing? Like, no. Do you get to the ending?
Not all the time, because even with this book, if in the bonus content they will find a poem called Honey, I'm Home, because that was meant to be the first poem in the book, like the opening poem of the book, and it never met the story at all. So I put it in the bonus content section. I'm gonna put a little author's note there, and it's not finished, and I didn't go back to finish it, because then in a weird way I feel like that would be disingenuous. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm just leave it as is for sure. The people so like, no, like this was the direction that I had planned on going. Yeah, but then in a workout that way, and this I forgot one different direction, because that happens all the time. May I work on something, and then I'll get to what I would consider the midpoint, and then that poem is so much more potent than the poems that came before. No, I have to build something for match this level of potency, because the two other poems don't do it justice, or the three other poems don't do it justice. And then I just pick up them. I've even wrote works where I merged two poems in one, because standing alone, they were not hitting.
Right.
So I say, you know what? I'm going to take them 2 stanzas, I'm going to take them 2 stanzas,
And put them together.
And then reword it some, and then boom, change it up. So the process, it takes me on a roller coaster ride. And then once it is finished, I do a complete read through, and that's when I start to fine tune things, start to make sure all right, then this is actually effective. Like with my opening poems, I try to make sure that those are very effective.
Right.
You know, so on and so forth. So it all depends on just the flow of things.
So in a book like that particular book, how many poems did you write? Like how many poems are like in the talk, like say didn't make the book? Like how many poems would you say you wrote? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, may I tell you right now, because I do everything on Canva.
Okay.
So I always have a digital copy. So the book in of itself is a total of 33 pages.
Okay.
If I go to the Canva file, it is 64 pages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it is a lot of, because I even have 2 versions of the same poem. And then I pick which one serves the purpose even
of
better. Yeah, so it in the Canva file I have 34 pages, but in the book in of itself is only 34.
And I feel like in what you're doing, which I'm pretty sure you probably already have that in the back of your mind, but an audio version of these, I feel, would be another step, like to actually not just an audio version, but also somewhat of a breakdown of each as you're going through, that people could listen to and get an understanding of what it is that you're trying to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because sometimes people might not get it, but because sometimes, again, I'm referencing songs, right? Sometimes somebody put out a record and you listen to the record and you get it, but you hear somebody really break down the record.
Makes it even more potent.
Makes it even more potent because you're like, that's what that means. Like you hear things all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm gonna give you one scenario that messed me up, right? This one scenario that messed me up for the longest time, and then I'm gonna have you read the paragraph. There's this line that Lil Wayne said in a song where he said, I think he said silent, like the K in lasagna, some silent like something
the G in lasagna,
like the G in lasagna, right?
Yeah.
And it took me, I swear to you, that song has been out for how long now, right?
Yeah.
And I was watching a podcast, and listen, I'm up on music. I listen to music, and I'm up on music, and I'm like, all the time, I'm like, yo, this is the stupidest line I ever heard. Because what the hell do you mean? Real G's move silent.
Yeah.
Right? Real G's move silent like lasagna. And I'm like, what the hell does this mean? What does he mean? What does he mean? What does it mean? And it was recently, I swear, this year. And you know how old the song is? I was watching a podcast and somebody broke it down like, yo, this is the most genius line. And I was like, here we go with this nonsense again. How is this the most genius line? Then when he said, oh, Jesus, the G is silent in lasagna. Like, when I was like, oh my God, now I feel stupid. I'm like, yo, now I feel stupid. I'm like, yo, now I feel stupid. I think we got one call on the line. Let me see. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. This is Deniro's mommy. I'm at work and my breakfast is almost done, but I'm just calling to say a blessing to my son and sky's the limit, and anything you're doing, please support God first. Okay, my son, I'm so proud of you.
I got one question before you go. Did you see him publishing 5 books in him growing up? Did you see any of this? Did you see this potential? I know parents are going to say yes, they saw it, but I want you to be real with me.
Okay. I didn't see this, but I know that he had potential.
You know that he had potential, but not like this.
No, no. And I'm being real.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Mom. You should be proud, man. I'm telling you.
I am.
You should be proud. You should be proud.
He knows how proud I am of him. He knows that. He knows.
Amazing.
I'm the proudest mom in the United States of America right now.
As you should. As you should. Because I was just about to big you up in there because I see you commenting. I was just waiting for a moment. You know what I mean? But you beat me to the punch. You called in before I could. So anything you want to say to him on live? I know you're saying you're proud, but he's here, he's hearing you. Anything you want to say to him?
I love you so much. Keep on doing what you're doing. Sky's the limit, my son. Always put God first. Everything you do. And remember, you have a praying mom. She never stops. You never stop praying for you.
Let me tell you something, man. I have one too, and it's the most important thing to me. A praying mother. Nothing beats a praying mother because the things that we don't see, they pray them away from us before we get an opportunity to see them. So I'm always appreciative of that. Thank you for calling. Anything you want to say to your mom while she's here?
Yeah, man. Big up my mother every time, man. I'm a number one supporter, man. Even in this book, you'll find in the acknowledgement, I said, sometimes she even believing on me before me believing on myself. If I tell my mother I say I want to do 10 books tomorrow, she got to tell me say I can't do it. I'll even believe myself.
So and you need that. Mother, man. You need that, especially from a mother that's not going to sugarcoat or try to, you know what I mean, give you any wrong. Because sometimes we get things from the wrong people. So having somebody like your mother, and you know, it's an amazing thing as your number one supporter. Mommy, thank you for calling in, man, and bigging up your son. He's doing an amazing job. Man. And I guess I'll get we'll get an opportunity to meet Mommy on June 13th.
Yeah, man, shout out to them.
Okay, all right, Mommy. We'll definitely get a chance to meet you on June 13th out there in Brookville Park. Thank you for calling in, all right?
You're welcome. Bye, my break time is up.
Okay. All right, Mommy said her break time is up. Mommy said her break time is up. You know what I mean? We can't, you know how it is. You still got to work. But big up Mommy for calling in, man. So June 13th, Brookville Park, 4 p.m. He's going to have books on sale. Food and drinks is on the house. Make sure you guys come out, man, and support. Stop on in, man. Stop in. Bring the kids out. You know what I mean? It's going to be a nice family vibe. You understand? Nice, family, clean, fun. You know what I mean? You know what you should do, man? You should do like, I don't know, things always pop in my head, man. Like when you're there, man, please, you should do some reading.
Yeah, we can make it happen, man.
I feel like, you know what I mean? Like you should do, like once you get an audience, I feel like, you know, you should, once an opportunity presents itself, even on your IG, I'm not saying to read the whole book. I'm not saying to read because sometimes people will hear book. Because I'm saying a book, but it's a book, but it's a book of poetry, of poems.
Yeah.
I don't want people to feel like it's a book where, because you got some
story.
people that be like, man, I rather an audio book where I could just, it's a book of poems, but it's a story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're getting a lot of things in one. You know what I mean? So which one did you decide to read for us? Like a few lines.
So this one is actually one of the bonus content in the book Flick Out Pan, and this one is called Have You Ever?
Okay.
I'm just going to read the first two stanzas.
Okay.
So it reads, have you ever met a love so selfless, it encourages you to be selfish, reminding you, though it's good to love and care, not all parts of yourself are parts you have to share. A love that protects you even from yourself. A love that makes you feel love knows best. A love so safe, a love so secure. A love that makes a troubled world feel pure. So that is one of the bonus content in the book, Have You Ever? You know.
So make sure you guys check it out. Please check it out. The book is available today. It's out today. Like I said, I'm a man of my word. Please check back in like an hour, and I'll take a screenshot of all the books that I purchased. Like I said, I'm going to purchase all of them, and there's going to be an extra 2 when this goes up on YouTube. If you're watching it afterwards, right, and you're interested in the book, you can drop a comment under the YouTube video, or you can follow JAIRIE Radio on Instagram, or follow me on Instagram, and just just let me know that you want a copy of the book, and I'll send the book to you. If it's somewhere in Queens or anywhere and we could drop it off, we'll do that also once we receive it. It would be good if I get the address before, so I could just purchase it and it goes straight to them. Whichever way, it doesn't matter. But we're going to be buying 6 books today, 4 for me and 2 to give away. So, like I said, man, anything else that you want the people to know, anything you have that's coming up? I know the book is out today. Do you have any pop-ups going on? Do you have anything else happening other than June 13th?
No, currently it's just the release of the book, which is today, and the cookout that is on June 13th. But they can follow me on social media, because that way they can always stay in tune for whenever things do come up, because I have had pop-ups in the past.
Okay.
But due to scheduling conflicts currently, I don't have any.
You don't have that. You don't have that free time. Like I said, we got to work.
Just have
we
work
gotta
to
work.
see him,
You got to work to support your passion.
Yeah.
We're not like Tony. We're not like Father Tony. We still have to work. We still have to work to support our passion. You know what I mean? But it's understandable. Like, you got to work to get where you need to get to, but at least you're doing it. You know what I mean? You're not just sitting on the talent and just sitting down and just not doing anything. You're actually doing it. So anything else, like I said, anything else, you follow you on social media. Give out your social media again to the people.
It's DR Publishing, PUBLISHING, at Instagram and TikTok.
And listen, if there's any schools out there, anybody that's in any schools and would like you to come in and do like a reading, you know what I mean? Like a poetry reading. The poems are clean content. It's appropriate, and they're amazing poems, right? So if there's anybody out there that wants him to, you know what I mean, whatever the event, if you have in something and you need him to show up and bring his books and, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Put it up for sale. Tony, when we hit the road, why not just bring him along to say, you know what, come sell some books, man. When we go to these locations all over the place, you just bring your books and, you know what I mean? We see what happens. Again, man, it was a pleasure speaking with you. I'll say it again. I appreciate what you're doing. I love the fact that you're making it happen. It's giving me inspiration. You know what I mean? Because ever since I started this, I've said it on air, and I've said it, and just recently I've made steps towards finally actually doing it. The one thing I've always wanted to do is to produce a record.
Yeah.
If it's even just one record, if it's even just a single, that's always been, see, he's laughing because I've always spoke about this. It's always been my dream to just, I don't even care if anybody buys it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I would just like the opportunity to put out a record just to say, I did this.
Yeah.
This is my production, my label. And I had an artist that came here recently, big artist. As a matter, Charlie Black came here.
Yeah.
And we were driving back, and he said to me, I was in the car, we always I make beats if rhythm I play with him. And him say, you make beats? I was like, no. Him say, you produce? I said, no. He says, so what are you doing? He said, you work at a radio station, you have all these connects, you don't produce, you have the amount of artists that you can call and, you know what I mean?
I'll make it happen.
But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you how God works. We had that conversation, and I recently interviewed somebody that does production. He did 90% of Spice album. He works with Vibes Cartel, all these people. I'm driving one Saturday, and when he came to me, I didn't even remember about him. And my fiance was in the car when Charlie Black said it. And I was like, man, but I don't know nobody that make beats. And she was like, what about the guy you just interviewed? The one that does the beats for Spice. And he does a lot, of the... So I'm like, you know what, you're right. And I sent him a message. I just said, yo, what's up? That's it. 3 days later, he called me back. I'm driving from the Bronx. He called me. He was like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, yo, I'm good, man. He was like, listen, I have 2 things I want to talk to you about. One of them, he was telling me about some new artists. And he said, the other thing he said to me, he said, yo, I have some beats I'm going to send you, man. that you can do whatever you want to do with them. Just like that.
Just like that.
The conversation never happened on the airwaves with me and Charlie Black. This was in the car.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So for him to just call me out the blue, and say, yo, I'm going to
bring it to you before you bring it to him.
That's what I'm saying. When I said, yo, when I texted you, I was waiting for you to finish talking to me about what you're talking to me about so that I can get to this, to tell you that this is what I wanted to talk to you about. But before I could say it to him, he said it to me. And I said, you know what? There's definitely something there for this to happen. So, guys, I'm going to do my production. But again, man, Deniro, big up yourself. You know what I mean? Big up yourself. Again, I appreciate what you're doing. Make sure you guys go and pick up the books. You know what I mean? And this one is out. I'm pretty sure you have a lot of more books tucked in, you know what I mean, more things that you want to do. But this is the focus right now. So we're not going to skip ahead and say, so when is the next? No, we're working with this one right now and the 4 that was out before this. So again, big up yourself. Thanks for passing through JAIRIE Radio as usual, man. It's a pleasure talking to you. As always, I only play, Tony, only 2 songs I play. So we shouldn't have no problem. I only play like 2 songs, a snippet of 2 songs. But big up yourself. Listen, again, tomorrow, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We're going to have Not Nice in the building, right? And we also, we're going to have DJ Kid from DJ Kid and Entourage. You know, they're going to have the big Not Nice G-Day celebration that's going to be in Brooklyn on Sunday starting at 6 p.m. Showtime is 11 p.m., so you know it's not an all-night thing, right? So if you haven't gotten your tickets already, make sure you jump on Eventbrite, Not Nice G-Day celebration. And also June 27th, that's my year-to-year fish fry and cookout. This year we got Colors in the building. We also got some other people that's passing through, but I ain't want to call no names yet. You know what I mean? But if you know me, you know that I always have some kind of special guest passing through. So make sure you guys get your tickets for that. It's on Eventbrite. I also have physical tickets that I'll drop off. What else am I missing? And also, IKEA, June 7th, Working Girl. It's her and Tanya Stevens. They're going to be in the Bronx. They haven't announced the location as yet. And I think I might be doing something with her on Sunday or Monday. I'm waiting on her to get back to me. Also, Tifa is going to be in the building sometime in June. I think she has a show June 5th, so we're going to have her in the building as well. Listen, man, it's about to be a busy summer. We just working, you know what I mean? We're trying to turn the corner on this weather. They said the weekend is supposed to be nice, especially Sunday. So until tomorrow, I'm signing out. Make sure you guys keep it locked to the Plug Show later on. They're going to be in here about 9 o'clock. So to everybody else, man, big up again. Big up Deniro Richards for passing through, all right?
Yeah, man, doing thanks every time, you know.
One miss and step on, I know. Whoa, DJ Dwayne, man, and JAIRIE Radio, boss it, Bonjour Bantam, sir.
Yeah, man.
Bow down low, you must be mad, we could not do that. Foundation from birth. Yeah, man, Louis culture representing for DJ Dwayne. Lift it up again.
DJ Dwayne, JAIRIE Radio is not the same. Once you mention DJ Dwayne, take reggae music on the main, Bonjour Bantam, sir. Explain. If you don't stand up and fight for your rights, DJ Dwayne, man, and JAIRIE Radio, boss it. DJ Dwayne, JAIRIE Radio is not the same. Once you mention DJ Dwayne, take reggae music on the main, Bonjour Bantam.